Hey people, Zarthwomp here, and welcome to episode 37 of Danganronpa! Last time we completed our investigation, and we're going to move on to our third trial. So let's get a move on. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Hey, look on the bright side. At least the elevator is less crowded. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, and is the courtroom going to be remodeled, opening up onto a cool face? Stop remodeling this place, Monokuma! Seriously!
Well, I see all of you gathered together like this. I just realized how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
All because of you.
Why do you make us do such cruel things to each other?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute!
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me! Of course I'm going to start it! I would never be like, stay tuned for the next action-packed live trial after this commercial break!
Yahoo!
I never hold out on you like that! Okay, let's begin! Get your time seats!
Like I said, sorry, once again, if my Monokuma voice ever just sounds off, just note that it could very well be because I'm either A, starting a recording session, or B, just getting to the end of one. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Seriously, why do they have to repeat that over and over again? I hate that! Okay, but let's set skills. Because we now actually have the skill, we can now put vocabulary. Okay, good. I swear, I just want to unlock skills. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Odd. I guess there are more than 15 skills, so there are multiple ways, so that there are multiples for each person.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
Oh, you're taking Monokuma's fun away!
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I thought Toko in the first trial was going on a witch hunt, and you're also gonna make my blaming Byakuya during the second trial look like just mild speculation.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Ironic coming from you!
Who are you calling a murderer?
Exactly!
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit.
Handwriting! Why doesn't anyone ever notice the handwriting?
Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or... Trust me, he is not the killer! He's a red herring! Before anything else, we have to make that clear. My guess is we're going to be using the handwriting, because the crux of the argument is that he built the suit, but the blueprints weren't in his handwriting.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Let's see what they say.
The culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Okay, they're going to make the blueprints. Handwriting is, yeah.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are.
It's not true!
Brett, darn it! I hate those damn like
Hold on a second!
I don't want to use the silencer. Yes! That's what I was trying to select!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts.
Okay, boom! I was trying to break that one! I swear! And I don't want to use the silencer, because it'll hurt me!
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
Yes, exactly! That's the point I've been bringing up the entire
What do you
time!
mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Alter Ego, I always just call it for AI. Just like I said, I'm sorry if I get the names
The
off.
handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
This is Hiro we're talking about. You seriously think he's that deep?
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
That's what I just
So
said.
Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
Alright, now Hina's gonna try to drown in the pool.
He's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been the suit. The Illuminati! It has to be Hiro.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it
Right,
could have
because,
been.
I mean, I think Hina would kill us right here if we accuse her.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Yeah, what if he's the accomplice?
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo Justice suit.
What?
Though that picture of Robo Justice kidnapping Hifumi, that kind of still arouses some suspicion.
Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
And I'm at the top.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
The
It
dolly.
would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The tarp and the... Okay, let's get the dolly. Repository dolly.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. Okay, and let's find that tarp. The blue tarp.
I got it! They
Okay.
were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Yep, yes they were. What's with that attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing.
It's not easy to
I'm
carry
sure
people
the dolly
around.
was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, So did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
Why can't you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
What's that supposed to mean? I've been the one solving all these murder cases.
You've all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wait. Time out. Seriously? We're forgetting how Makoto essentially solved 2 murder trials? Wow, I never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Like, maybe I could change her mind. Just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element to add to the board. Yes, I want to see what the bullet time bells. Absolutely. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see an ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you have bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with A and Y. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, but if your actual difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can just ignore everything that I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun! Okay! Oh god, we're facing Celeste!
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst! Away with you! You miserable wretch! I cannot agree! You are a fool! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst, you miserable wretch! You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic!
Okay.
Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst! Away with you!
Yeah! Final strike!
I cannot agree!
Boom! There we go! Wow, that was actually not that bad! Thank you to that double reload! Look, Kakumi and Toko really help out with that regard.
I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
But it was kind of weird doing this sort of thing at the beginning of the trial.
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Because the dolly, there's no handle, so you'd have to bend over, and Hina specifically stated that the suit cannot bend. It'd be clear what the person in the suit couldn't have done. What does he mean by that? Okay, let's see what option we have. Robo Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah,
I'm
But
trying.
even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Okay, boom. There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Because the costume can't bend. You even proved that for us, Hina.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
You proved it! You wore the suit and said it can't bend!
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
And now we get the cute Hina picture. Literally, that is just adorable.
I'm blind as a bat here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you,
it wasn't me!
and not to mention, you don't get bent at the waist. It's like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Because you can't see where your feet are?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Especially Hiro. No offense, but Hiro, he doesn't impress me that much in terms of mental capacity.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume's taken off because you can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help?
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make the stupid freaking thing!
There's a clasp on the back keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy.
I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. I am sorry if my Kyoko voice and my Celeste voice sound very similar. Like I said, I can't do girls all
That's
that
true.
well.
It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
Well, really, is he trying to be is he actually dragging? I mean, we just see a still picture. He's just wrapping his arms around Hifumi.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt?
That guy hit me!
What guy?
Robo Justice! That's why I decided to call him just now!
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Oh, we're already into the comic session?
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
Look at this is like that one Maya flashback from Spirit of Justice where Maya keeps reminding Rafe of how, oh, you gotta be strong for your people.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
We've seen this so many times!
and then
Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor, to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening.
Are we hallucinating or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Which we will be doing in the next episode because I feel that now is a good time to end things off. So anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever it is that you want. And with that, I will see you later. Bye.